Meantime, farm equipment maker Deere posting weaker than expected results with big misses on both the top and the bottom line. The company saying American farmers resisted purchases of new equipment partly because of trade and recession fears. The stock has pared some of its losses, but it's still down in the early trading this morning, down by almost 1%. And joining us to break it all down right now is Rob Wertheimer. He is founding partner and lead global machinery analyst at Melius Research. What do you think? I mean, this is a case where probably blaming it on trade and recession fears is legitimate.
It's actually fair, right? Yeah. There's a couple impacts from the trade war. One, it obviously kicks farmer sentiment around, and so they're gonna maybe order more and less depending on the sentiment. Two is it makes it a little bit harder to operate, right? So if you're trying to source parts from different geographies and your demand's swinging up and down, that's just a little bit tougher. So that explains part of the results.
Your reaction to the misses, not only the misses, but also lowering guidance for the current quarter too.
Honestly, it wasn't so bad. So they lowered guidance, but a little bit. They'd had a construction guide that was puzzlingly high to some people. So as your sentiment is buoyant, dealers want to buy more, they want to stock up on inventory, and as that ebbs away, sometimes that flows back down. So the guidance cut wasn't too bad. And then Deere also announced that they think they can bring their margins up sort of structurally. And Deere has a lot of advantages. They're doing very well in technology and sort of advanced tractors, advanced guidance, different features they can add on. So they have a plan for the future that's pretty good.
In terms of that, in terms of becoming more efficient, trying to make sure that they're watching where the costs are coming, what more can they do if they're already doing it pretty well?
Well, so there's a bunch they can do, actually. So they have a leading position in technology. So I don't know if you followed the Blue River acquisition, but they have the ability to sort of do
the
pattern.
GPS that's actually
and even robotic spraying of,
Yeah.
you recognize a weed versus a plant and you spray that. And so there's a lot they can do to help farmers, and they're a big and, well-run and efficient company, and so they can sort of bring that value better than some other companies can to farmers.
Ultimately, though, it's going to be how farmers are feeling about all of this. And if you look at the numbers over the last 5 years, it's been a horrible series of circumstances for farmers, whether it be drought, whether it be floods, whether it be the trade talks and fewer buyers.
We started from a very high point. We had a good cycle, 2012, 13, 14, and it's come down from there, and you're right. And right now, the trade war back and forth, I do think weighs on sentiment. So we've got a little bit of a struggle to sort of get past that, and then we'll see where we're coming out on the other side.
For some of these smaller farmers, they talk about issues like not being able to see through the next season, needing to know exactly what happens here. If there was some sort of clarity on the trade talks, if China actually did step in and start buying more agricultural products, what would that mean? How quickly would it turn things around?
It would help. Smaller farmers are in a tougher spot. The world has gotten bigger. Farmers have gotten bigger. You need more equipment. The seeds have gotten more expensive. So there's been a drive towards consolidation that's made it tough for the family farmer. And clarity obviously helps those folks more than most. So I don't see that as being easily resolvable in the near term. Mm-hmm. The other thing with the trade war is it does cause near-term uncertainty. There's not a lot of other places that can grow like the U.S. does. And so we do have a wonderfully, efficient and productive farm economy. If it goes on too long, then you start to get investment in places like Brazil and Argentina, and our long-term competitive advantage starts to ebb away as well.
You sound pretty positive about what you heard from Deere, even though it was a disappointment. Would you tell people to buy the shares today? We
have a neutral on Deere. It's not as big a disappointment as some in the market feared, and there's a plus coming as Deere sort of works to take full advantage of some of its natural advantages in tech and in scale that I think will be interesting over the next few years.
Rob, thanks a lot. Good talking to you.